Hey there, Read 581. This is Dr. Keisler. As promised, I said I would make a quick screencast just to show you some of the changes that I made on the course site. I know that lots of you have already seen the changes because I've heard back a response to my email. So basically, what I wanted to do is I just wanted to clean up the way it looks visually. I did not remove anything. I just reorganized it. So I know at least, when I was opening it up, because people were asking me questions and I had to find a resource, I found it kind of challenging to find it because there's so much stuff on here. So I also took off the pictures. So I'm sorry if anybody likes the pictures, but the course site was already so big that I just felt having to scroll through all those pictures was also kind of like visually anxiety provoking, maybe you would say, at least for me, and it made it challenging to find stuff. So I want to call your attention first to this assignment descriptions and resources block. So everything that was on here before is still on here. I just kind of did a reorganization. So if you go into this first assignments folder, you'll see all three of your assignments, right? So assignment 1, assignment 2, and assignment 3. So then you click on this little arrow and you find all of the resources that belong to that assignment. So assignment 1 is your reflective journal. So here are your Word documents. This is a sample. Here's your template. Here's another model for you. If you don't want to look at this, you just go ahead and you click that arrow again. So you're wrestling with research. Part 1 was the quiz, and then part 2 and 3 are the research summaries. And so you see this is scenario 1. We said it was fluency. Here's your articles for fluency. Scenario 2, click the arrow. Here's your articles for invented spelling. Again, when you don't want to look at it, you don't want it all out, you just click the arrow again. So it kind of makes it a little more, to me, just, organized, easy to find, less documents, all just right in your face. Same thing. So assignment 3 is your case report. So the work that you need or the documents you need for part 1, find them in there. Part 2, find them in there. All right. So hopefully you appreciate and are comfortable with the way that I reorganized the assignments folder. So then there were screencasts that explained each assignment. So rather than having the access to them right on the main page, I just made a separate page. So you'll see for assignment 1, takes you right to the screencast that explains it. Same thing here, wrestling with research. Here's the screencast that explains the assignment. Assignment 3 was 2 different parts. So here are the screencasts that explain both of those. Okay, so then I moved all of the Turnitin folders onto this main block, right? So before they were kind of scattered within different weeks, the weeks that they were due. But I thought if I just put them all here, you can find them all here. So you'll note that I put them in the order that they are due, right? So if it looked a little confusing at first, it's because what you have due next is assignment 3, part 1, right? So that's your IAR. So if you're not sure what that assignment is, it's listed right there, the IAR. Go into your assignment folder, look for assignment 3. Oh, there it is, part 1, the IAR. Okay, so that is due the 7th. Your first reflective journal is due the 21st of October. And then you'll see that I took the wrestling with research assignments and I pushed them back a bit. So I believe that one was supposed to be due on the 30th. You can still turn it in on the 30th if you've been working on it and you're ready for it. But when I looked at the whole schedule, I noted that we had a lot of stuff due at the end of September and the beginning of October. And then we had a ton of stuff due again in December. But there was nothing really happening in November except that you're working on your field work. So in terms of turning documents in, nothing was happening there. So this first one, you have a couple more weeks. I believe this also happens to be a long weekend, so you probably won't have school because I think it's the Veterans Day holiday. So if you're not going away, gives you that extra day. You won't have to be teaching. Same thing here. This is after Thanksgiving recess. So you have Thanksgiving recess to go ahead and to work on that second part. We do get a little busy here in December, but you still, you're broken up a little bit, and these things that you're working on all along. It's a bit of a crunch at the end because this stuff has to get turned into me. This is your final report with your data, and then this is your parent or your caregiver letter. And so I need to have these in by this date so I can take the week, look at them, and then you can send them off to the parents or the teacher if you wish before everybody goes on break for Christmas or the winter, the winter holiday. So these are your new due dates. Again, this wrestling with research, turn them in whenever you want, but these are kind of the drop dead dates. So you could turn them in anytime between now and the 11th for the first research summary, and anytime between now and December 2nd. So those are kind of the biggest changes. And then as you go through, you'll see the same thing in all the blocks. So I took out, I took out the pictures, and I went through and I just condensed everything. So all of the readings you need will be in this folder, let's say for week 14. And then I took all the screencasts and did the same thing. Just put them on the page, right? So they're all just right there. You got vocabulary, all your how-to guides in your reading, and then all of the videos. This was the link to the article. This is the video of Beck, and then here's the screencast for part 1, part 2, part 3 for vocabulary. All right. So I did that all along. I still didn't do these ones that we've already done, but I will do that. So I have for next semester. But I figured I would just, in the interest of time, start where we are. Right. So we're in week 5. So everything that you need from week 5 on has been condensed. Still haven't really figured out what to do with this bottom piece, but I can clean this up a little bit. But I think, for the most part, I could probably stick this somewhere else. For the most part, this will probably stay the same if you're using those resources. So I know there was also some issue with some quiz questions. I guess there's answers that are related to the QRI-5 and we use the QRI-6. So I will go in there and I will fix those and give you credit. And then besides that, I think we're in a good place right now, ready to go. I know that there's a couple of mismatches in the task lists and stuff. Now in terms of when stuff is due. What was kind of interesting I noticed was I pulled up this, I think week 12 and 13, and you'll see that it's going to be too big now. Anyway, let's see if I can get it smaller. No, that didn't help me. So anyway, so you look at week 12 and 13, and you'll see, if you look at that screen task list, it seems like Dr. Glasswell was talking about the wrestling with research assignment in here. So at some point it was due weeks 12 and 13. So I figured turning it back to weeks 11 and 13, let's, see what happens. Maybe you should change it for a reason that I can't figure out yet, but we'll just go with those later dates for now. So like always, if you have questions about stuff, go ahead and shoot me an email. I've been trying my best to get back to you quickly. You have, there's a webinar. I'm going to send out the link for that. Webinar, it's not a webinar, it's a Zoom meeting. I'll send out the link for that. There's one Wednesday tonight and there's one Thursday. So if you're interested in being a part of those, then go ahead and click the link. I'm going to put the link in the announcements, right? So you have an announcement and it will say Zoom links, and just open it up and you'll find it there. So, all right, keep working. I hope that your sessions with your students are going well, and I will talk to you soon.